have a thing telling us that we started to record. Now there's no question.
Wu-Tang intro.
Yeah. Gentlemen,
Start your engines.
what's the word?
Oh man, what's going on, guys?
So, like y'all know,
Summer break is here.
Summer?
Summer break.
Wait, your son is off already?
Yeah. First week off.
Oh wow, that's it. Wait. Oh, you wouldn't know, E. I mean, you probably
No,
know.
but my daughter is 6, so she's been home from pre-K for the past week. So we've been feeling it in that way.
Well, why don't you guys compare notes? I want to hear this.
Go ahead, Kay.
What? Summer break?
Yeah, how's life with summer break? Anything?
It's fine. I mean,
you missed him a lot, right?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is the feeling?
He's we got him doing activities during the day, like little mini camps, not like full blown things, but he'll go do like a skate camp for a week, and then we'll sign him up and go do something else, that kind of thing. So,
yep. Question, Kate.
Yeah.
You guys aren't. I mean, I'm sure he's been skating out for a while, but it never worries you that you're not around if he gets hurt.
Yeah. I mean, I basically.
It's inevitable in skating.
Yeah. What we tell him is, I mean, he's gotten hurt. I mean, there's been times where he's taken some nasty falls and just kind of it scared him. I mean,
right.
he was able to shake it off and everything. But what we try to tell him, because he's on this thing of like he's really into skating and he's really into basketball, and so he takes both of them pretty seriously and seems like he's passionate about both of them. So what we try to do is just say like, look, we think the skating is cool. Just know that the more that you start learning different tricks and start trying to do different things, the probability of you getting hurt is going to increase. Right?
Is that you as a parent trying to push him away from the danger?
Yeah, it's more so like, look, if you hurt yourself, because there's been a couple times where we'll take him to go skating in the morning on the weekend, and then after that he's got basketball practice. But there's been a couple times where he's gotten busted up at skating, and then he can't go to basketball practice because he fucked himself up for the day.
Right.
So it's really reminding him like, look, if you're really serious about basketball as well, you might want to just figure out on the skating side like how crazy you want to go, because the crazier you go with some of these tricks and being in the air and all that kind of stuff, it could mess up what you want to do basketball wise. So that's our kind of slick way of
having him
scare him a little bit.
Slow down.
Having him decide.
Yeah.
So do you get the sense that he's listening or favors basketball so much that he's considering it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, even when left to his own devices at a skate park, for example, he's only going to do stuff he feels comfortable with. He's definitely not like super daredevil. I mean, there's some parks we're at where there's some pretty deep skate bowls and stuff, and even if he's got his gear on, he still won't do it because he's just not he's just not comfortable doing it. So I'm fine with that. I'm not trying to push him to, no, you got to do it, So I think he's brave, but he's not like daredevil when it comes to it, and I'm fine with that.
Right, he's cautious.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about on the basketball side? Is he doing a ton there, or is it kind of even as far as activity?
Well, he was before COVID. He was on like the YMCA team. Actually, at one point, right before COVID, he was on 2 different teams. There was like a YMCA team, and there was another like local Venice team that he was on as well. So he was doing 2 teams at once. That's how kind of into it he was. And then when COVID hit, everything basketball wise got shut down, and he was going to like a clinic also on the weekends for it. So one of the coaches from the clinics started doing just like one-on-one stuff. So we got in touch with him, and then he's been. I think the YMCA teams are probably going to come back in the fall as things open up. But he's just been doing like these one-on-one clinics with this coach just to keep him. And we've had to go to like. Now we've got a pretty kind of stable area where the basketball courts are open, but it would be like every weekend we'd go to one place and they'd have it shut down or they'd have the rims closed and we'd have to drive just going around trying to find an open court. Or if we couldn't find a court, then he's just practicing skill, dribbling and defense and stuff like that for an hour. So
that's dope.
Just to keep him active, keep him up.
Real quick before I forget. So you are you familiar with Sierra Canyon? I think it's a high school over in Southern California. It's in the LA area. Anyway, LeBron James' son plays there.
Oh, okay.
Several like high profile basketball players, kids, play there. And there's a lot of like good college recruits that come out of there. Y'all should go check out a game. I mean, it's jam packed. I don't even know how you get tickets, but I'm sure he's gonna love that.
Okay.
What about you, E? You look like shit, bro.
Yeah, I feel like shit. Had drink champs last night and everything.
Oh, and you were sick?
Yeah.
No.
How's that work?
And there's no resting. That's the thing too, man. I'm like, I just want to rest. There's no resting at home.
Right.
And my daughter's at home. And my son is like borderline, like, thank God it doesn't seem like he's gonna, like, he was like, it looked like he was gonna be sick, that he caught it as well, but it looked like he's not gonna develop it.
So you guys believe you have a cold from what the doctor told you?
So my daughter last week on Wednesday, she started to have a fever. And then it was like a mild fever. It was like between 99 and 100. Right? And then she started not acting like herself, and that's the part that started to worry us. She was like really like down and serious, low energy, as Trump would say. And and then that was consistent. And then what the red flag for us was she's a habitual treat person.
Right.
Like she needs to have treats and eat treats. That's what she wants all the time. She didn't want treats. She didn't want her dessert after dinner. She didn't finish her ice cream. Like all the stuff that's like she goes bonkers for, she didn't want. And we're like, oh man, what's wrong with her? Something's really wrong.
That's scary.
Yeah, and she didn't develop any cold symptoms, just fever, and then that her appetite, the way her demeanor was. And so then remember I texted you guys and I was asking you guys what you thought. And
as usual, not helpful.
Huh?
As usual, we weren't helpful.
No, you guys were. I mean, we ended up COVID testing her. I have a home, a quick
rapid
tester at home, but it's blood. We had to prick her, and that was a little unnerving for her. And she was like crying at first, but she was brave, man, braver than me when I did it. And we tested her, and she came out negative. But of course, you're doubting how accurate that thing is. And then we took her on Sunday to a pediatric urgent care down the street from us. And they're great there. And they did a COVID test and a flu test. And she came back negative. And they also reassured us that in their world, a fever isn't unless it's like 101.
Got it.
Consistently. That's what they consider a fever, a good fever. Anything below that, they're like, that's not that serious. And so, and then after that, she started to develop a stuffy nose and cough. And she threw up twice. And when she took her nap, which was also scary. But I chalked that up to also that one day she drank like a green juice, and then I was twirling her around before nap.
Oh, well, there you go.
So that's one. And then the other time was she ate something else crazy, and I like flipped her upside down before I put her in bed. So I think that's what caused her to go up.
I saw a news headline today. I didn't read about it, but the headline was that there's some new flu-like cold that's going around the southeast. It's not COVID, but it's some kind of strain
that's what the urgent care people. They didn't say flu. They just said there's something going around.
Yeah.
A kid. Her school told us there was a kid that had something as well. And then but the way that this is the thing. The urgent care was like, I was like, so does she have a cold? They're like, Well, she has there's thousands of viruses out there,
Mm.
common viruses, and she has one of them, and we treat them all the same.
Right.
So is it a
And
yes or is it a no, doctor? Like,
and in the paperwork it says upper respiratory infection,
uh,
which sounds terrible to me.
Right.
But and she still, she still has it, but I'm seeing her appetite come back now, and her personality return to normal. But then in the midst of all this, she's home, and so it's more time with her than we've been, regularly throughout the week. And her misbehavior, man. She's just misbehaving. She's just bad attitude, man.
So let me ask you this, E. When she's misbehaving or like when she wants something and she starts, I don't know if she does, but if she throws a fit or
It's super fit.
until she gets do you guys basically just give it to her to calm so that she stops?
No, not really.
Okay.
The thing, what I do is, and I've been doing this more proactively, is I'm definitely taking it away from her and making her like dwell on the fact that she has to wait now, and she has to either apologize for whatever, or she has to calm down, or something like that. And that's what I've been doing lately. But eventually, she does get the thing that she wanted. Eventually, so I don't know if that still is.
So the eventual, because like my son, he said something like I think it might have been to my mom one time, and he was just like his tactic, because they have these tactics where they'll do something and they know that if they continue to do it and we'll give in because we're annoyed. He was like, if I just continue to ask and be annoying, they'll finally give in and just give me what I want. So in his mind, it's kind of like funny, but it's also just their way of almost training us of like, if I could just continue to do this, I'll eventually get what I want.
Yeah, it's such a complicated situation with us because when she goes in, she goes in. Like, she'll scream. Yeah. She doesn't care if the baby's sleeping or if the grandma's
she probably
sleeping.
prefers it. She's like, oh yeah, because if your son is sleeping and the grandma's sleeping, she probably looks at that as an opportunity to get shit faster. Because when she starts to wild out, she sees you guys go into a panic because you don't want everybody up.
Yeah, no, because she does it whether they're awake or sleeping.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, that's part of it. And then she does, like, she'll throw herself on the floor or wherever where I'm afraid she's gonna hurt herself. She'll throw something. Like, she goes bananas, dude. Like, I'm like, what demon child is possessing? Like, who's the demon that's possessing you right now?
Yo, is it at a point now where it's just you guys got to analyze your genes and be honest and say, all right, she takes after you or she takes after me?
Listen,
like, where is it?
What can I say? Crazy Hood Productions. Who's crazy? And
there
my daughter's like,
I want you to own it,
motherfucker. Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. But again, going back to how complicated things are, is that we got the baby, then the grandma with dementia, and then when you're trying to juggle all those things, it's like you have to give in sometimes.
Yeah.
To the situation. We're like I said, more and more we're trying to discipline her, and then there's the combo of, is she just being bad? Is she, is she still a young, like a 3-year-old that we have to kind of like look at her as she doesn't really know what she's doing, or she's just going through this like etapa,
stage,
this time of, this stage of her life. And then the other part is that's very obvious. It still has to do with her brother. Most of the things revolve around her brother. She's going up to, she's taking away things from her brother. She's throwing them. Like, her brother grabbed a toy. She was watching TV. She was chilling. Gets off the couch, walks over to him, grabs the thing, and throws it across the room, and walks back and sits down on the couch.
Yo,
she'll kick him. She'll shove him. She'll push him.
She's your daughter, bro, for real.
If my girl's holding the baby, she'll come up to me and ask me to hold her. She starts to do baby sounds sometimes. Like, she's definitely still dealing with the stuff with her brother, and it's like it's heart-wrenching, man. It's hard, and I don't really know what to do. I'm just thinking, I'm hoping it's just a stage and we'll get through it. The good thing is the baby boy, he stopped crying as much as he used to, and when she goes crazy, he's just like, whatever, dude, and he just goes about his business. When she grabs and throws things away, he doesn't, whatever, and he grabs another toy. He's like, whatever about it.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's been a year, bro. It's been over a year with this jealousy thing. That's a lot.
Yeah, and I today I was like, yo, one day your brother's gonna be old enough, and he's gonna have something that you want to borrow, and he's not gonna let you. He's gonna be old enough to not let you, hold that. And she's not. She's like, whatever, dude.
Yeah, of course.
She's also she's this is the part that's really been annoying lately. She'll be like, I want treat. Yo, dude, treat after treat, but then you'll give her what she wants, and then she's like, I don't like it. and, and then she'll stay for a little bit, 10 minutes, and then she'll turn around and you're like, treat again. Yo, it's wild, man.
Yo, you know
It's
what?
wild.
You guys just gotta, and you're probably already doing this, but like, you just gotta go with the flow and do what works for you, and stop trying to think about what normal is supposed to be for her age, or you know what I mean?
Right,
Because
right,
you're gonna drive yourself fucking crazy. Like, if you have to give her treats all the time, I mean, ultimately that's becomes an unhealthy habit long term. But if
right.
that's what you got to do to get through, like, yo, do what you got to do. Because at the end of the day, like, we could be here, like, because our situations are all different and our kids are all wildly different. So it's just
Right.
got to work for whatever it is. And eventually shit'll normalize, but at your own pace.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling my girl we got to figure out a consistent disciplinary plan to really. I just don't know what to do, man. I don't. I don't.
Mm.
I really don't know how to discipline her. And then I'm looking at like all the toys that she has, and she all she wants to do is watch YouTube. And I'm like, play with your goddamn toys. I'm gonna throw all this shit away, and I really just want to throw them all away now. But then baby boy could use it today. Like and this is like how I'm trying to like deal with it. So today she opens up. Now she's like just opening drawers up, and she opens up a drawer, and then there's this sand in it that I hate. I hate Play-Doh and I hate sand.
Messy shit.
My girl loves to buy it. I hate that shit for the crib.
Yeah.
So she sees this big bag of sand,
Stay
place.
away from the slime. Also, that
Oh
shit
no,
is.
we already went through that crap, and that
Yeah.
shit's all over. That shit was all over the place. And she's like, "Oh, I want to play with this," and I'm like, "Nah." And then she threw a fit, and I was like, "That's cool." And I put the sand high on the top of the refrigerator. And I was like, "Look, after your nap, because she'll give us shit about taking her nap and all that. I go after your nap, then we'll play with it. That's when I'm deciding that we're gonna play with this stuff." And she had her little fit for a little bit, and then she calmed down, and then she got over it. She did try to be slick when her mom came home. She's like, "I want to play with sand,"
Mm-hmm.
and I told her no. I told her no after her nap, and then we stayed on the same page.
Consistency is everything, and getting on the same page on everything is the only way forward. Because the united front, no matter what it is, like, yo, if you decide, all right, we're gonna give her 3 pieces of candy throughout the day, like, make sure y'all keep track of that shit. Because any little
Yeah,
slip and it's
that's what we're
over.
terrible at, man. It's just because of the chaos of the house.
Yeah.
You have the baby, you have the grandma. Any given moment, the grandma comes in and thinks it's 1960 Guatemala, and and starts chopping it up with you and wanting to leave the house, like, or she might fall down. Like it's just like
A lot.
it can go from 0 to 100 pretty quickly in the house.
Mm.
Ay, that sucks. So on my side, I've been dealing with a lot of little white lies again with my son. And Kay, I wanted to ask you, been meaning to ask you for a couple of weeks, like, how's the lying been on your end for your son? Not you personally, because I know you lie all the time, but your son.
Yeah. Yeah. For him, I think it's been good. I think it's been all right. I mean, we had a stretch where there was nothing, at least that we knew of, and then we caught him out there maybe about a month ago. Like it was weird because he did something happened. I can't really remember fully what it was, but something happened at school, and when we picked him up, he started saying, like, giving a version of the story, but not giving the full story. And the story didn't really add up. It was like, well, what do you mean the teacher said something to you, but you weren't involved? Or, it was just convoluted. And so we started poking more holes and just asking questions until it was finally, he finally then gave up the goods of like, all right, this is what really happened. And then it was like, well, why did you lie? If this is what happened.
What does he tell you? Because that's literally the question. Like, I'm not even, I get upset when it happens, but I'm not like, all right, now there's a repercussion. I don't jump right to like a consequence. I'm trying to really figure out like what's triggering your lying.
Yeah, it's the fact of knowing that you're gonna get in trouble or get a consequence.
Right.
But we're trying to tell him like, yo, we're probably gonna 9 times out of 10, we're probably gonna find out that you told a lie. So now your consequence is gonna be even worse because you lied. And then it's gonna be harder for us to trust you. And then you gotta rebuild, trust and all this kind of stuff. And it's it's really just trying to hammer home to him like, yo, like you're gonna make mistakes and you're gonna fuck up and there's gonna be times where you're just gonna get in trouble. So you might as well just own it and be, if you're gonna make a mistake, you might as well just be able to handle it and handle what comes with it. Because if you try to cover it up, you're gonna get caught and it's gonna be even worse. And that's, I mean, I know there's gonna be more and more.
Yeah.
It's like with him, it seems like he'll get it, and then I don't know, maybe a month from now we'll have another incident like that. It's not like he's. I don't think he. I don't think it's his mission to want to lie. I think it's more of just like the fear of getting in trouble. But we also tell him like, yo, it's not like we're not necessarily the parents who are like the super disciplinarians. We don't. It's not like we're going out of our way to get him in trouble or give him a consequence for things. If anything, I'd rather not give consequences and stuff because it kills our fun too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I didn't say we're gonna cancel the vacation, but I kind of alluded to like,
yeah,
yo, you want to ruin a vacation for your siblings? Because now if we yank this shit, everybody's catching it. It's not just you.
right.
And he looked at his older sister. Yo, she gave him the death stare. She was like, yo, if I don't go to Florida this summer, bro, I'm gonna like that kind of face. And
So
she
what's his excuse for the lies that he's
it's
doing?
the same
Same.
story. Like
Yeah.
he's like, I'm afraid. And I'm like, yo, let's think, and I break down. Like in this case, like he came home from school and he had marker marks on the back of his shirt. 3 of them, right? And
Okay.
so almost like the Zorro Z, like that's how
Yeah.
I looked. And I'm like, all right. The first when I peeped it, I was like, let me not say nothing. Let me look at it, make sure, like, because it could be an accident. They're in a classroom. There's those dry erase markers. Everybody gets to use them. Whatever. So finally, I just like I go, yo. So tell me about these marker marks on the back of your shirt. Yo, this kid, he should be in Hollywood. The way he like grabbed his shirt, tried to rotate it around, like to see what marks. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yo, dog, you know I was you before you, right? And he looks at me. He's like, well, what happened? And I'm like, so now you knew it was there. And then we get it, and so then I'm starting to get hot. I'm like, yo, stop trying to play me like a sucker, bro. Like I'm not him. And whatever, we get into it, and then finally he's like, yeah, no, this kid, he I found out he did that, and I approached him, and he said it was an accident. I was like, yo, he did it 3 times, and it was an accident. And now I'm worried. Now I'm like, yo, are you getting bullied in school? Like, what's going on? And he reassured me. He's like, nah, yeah, that's not happening. I'm like, do you even know what the fuck that means? Like, can you explain to me what bullying feels like? And he's like, he went through it. And I was like, okay. So finally we get to like the conversation about why are you doing this? Like, what is triggering you to pick lying over just telling me the truth? And he goes, because I think I'm going to get in trouble. And I'm like, yo, bro, you just went through 2 months of incarceration as close as you can come to that in my house. And you didn't think that was bad enough? All because of you lying. And I told him every time, I'm like, yo, all we're going to do is have a conversation. I'm not promising you not get in trouble, but it's not going to be anywhere as severe as what would happen, like Exhibit A, 2 months in solitary confinement in this house. Like, it won't be that bad if you tell me the truth. Whatever. And it's still, like, to this moment, I'm still not I'm not satisfied with his responses or why he's choosing to do that. So it's
It's
been
scary.
yeah, but to your same point, I don't get the vibe like this is his mission either.
Yeah.
But it's like I feel like if I don't address it or we try to course correct, like it could become that.
Well, the scary part about the whole thing is just, and we tell our son is like, look, as you get or whatever, I don't. These things could happen at any age, but it's like if you get into some real serious trouble, like we're the ones that you need to be able to come to and tell the truth so that we can actually help you. No one else is going to help you. We're the ones that are going to be able to help you. So get rid of all the fear of getting in trouble from mom and dad. Like we're the ones, it's our job to help you. So you got to be able to trust that you can tell us what's going on.
Yeah, and we got to believe you. You got to condition us to believe you, because if you keep conditioning us not to, when that moment comes, God forbid we choose the path of not believing you and you really need us, like it's going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, it feels good that at least I'm not on my own with this shit.
Yeah, it feels like it comes in waves.
Yeah.
Are
you experiencing lies with your daughter? I mean, I guess it's more like
nah, not really.
Nothing?
It's like
Okay.
if anything, it's like stupid little things,
like
but
jokes.
not really. Yeah, nah. I'm not no lies really. The only thing maybe like one of the things is when she goes to school is like we're like, did you go poo poo? Did you go pee pee? And sometimes it's like confusing as to whether she did or she didn't. And she'll be like, so it's like, what happened? Like,
Yo, E, I've been meaning to ask you, what's up with the crazy Michis?
look.
Are they out? Can people buy them?
So what happened is my partners,
Yeah.
they had issues with the co-packers and they bought their own machines and now they're manufacturing their own. We just rolled out the first batch a week or two ago. They went to straight to retail in California and they sold out.
Oh, dope.
Now the next batch is going to be for online sales. And then I got my samples, got 3 cases at the crib now. So, slowly but steady.
Can you describe what it is? Because I've tried to describe it to my wife and she doesn't get it. So I think it's just me that's not getting it.
I mean, I think the simplest way, even though it still doesn't really accurately describe it, but if you're talking to someone that doesn't know anything about a michelada, is to be like, imagine like a Bloody Mary beer drink.
And it comes fully prepared. All you got to do is crack it open.
The problem with that description is that there's no clamato tomato sauce in this situation.
Okay.
But that's the idea of a michelada if it were at the bar or whatever. Even though I always say I want it without tomato sauce.
Yeah,
I don't like
you hate the tomato sauce.
So yeah, this is basically the thing about the cups that makes it convenient and what I'm excited about is it's just if you want a to-go cup, it's not going to be as good as a bar michelada. But if you want something that you want to, have on the run and you go to your local bodega, liquor store or a gas station, that's the idea that it would be available there and you grab your favorite beer. It has the powder inside. You pour, put ice in beer or just a cold beer, boom, and it has the rim. And the rim is the star of the show.
Right.
And you get in your car and start driving.
Right.
No.
That's not what we're promoting.
Where you're going. I don't know what this has to do with being a parent.
Yo, you just
need plenty of micheladas to stay sane.
You just alley-ooped that one because I was waiting to slam that shit down, but Kay came and fucking took care of it.
I tell people get your michelada cups and put them in your Fly Dad gear bag.
Right.
And move.
No, man, I've been like fiending for it. Now that I'm going down, I wanna like get a bunch of them joints. So it doesn't come with the beer. You have to get the beer, then put it together.
But if you have your Fly Dad bag, you've got
the beer's in the Fly Dad.
You've got the cold storage spot. You can put the cold beer in there.
This is true. It is an insulated pocket. Yes, you're right. We're gonna try that when I come down to Miami. We're gonna try to fit one in there and see if it works.
You guys just reminded me. So this episode will probably drop the next Tuesday after Father's Day.
Next week.
Yes.
So that's Tuesday after Father's Day.
Oh shit! Right? It's Father's Day. That's right.
Right. Yeah. The day that nobody cares about.
Right.
So just a quick note. I was not a speaker, but I joined a panel on a Zoom panel it's called Fathers of Color and Mental Health. And it was moderated by Jeff Johnson. He co-wrote a book with Steve Harvey, and I'm sure he does a lot of stuff. And then Dante Jackson, who's a football player, and it was a really dope conversation. And that comes out on Monday, so it'll be the day before this drops.
Jeff
And
John, I think he used to work for BET, or maybe still does.
Jeff Johnson,
Yeah, that name rings a
yeah,
bell.
he looked very familiar.
It'll be
And
out on YouTube. Is it a podcast or is it a video
uh,
conference type deal?
that is a great question. I mean, they're
We'll put
definitely
it in
gonna
the
have
notes.
clips on social
Yeah.
media. They sent me like a bunch. I'll show it to you guys. There, like they sent me
Okay, nice.
like some stuff to promote it, and it says "Say I love you" is the hashtag speaker series. That's the
Okay.
speaker series.
Say
And
I
what
love you.
was the overall? I guess what were some of the similarities that people are going through? I don't know how many different dads were on there.
Well, no, well, it was supposed to be a couple of us, but for this one, only Dante and myself made it.
Okay.
And what was dope about Dante and myself is that he also has a 3-year-old daughter,
Mm.
and so we were, we could relate on that level, and and think about the grueling training that someone in the NFL, constantly is away from the house, so he could relate to it in terms. Well, I mean, I can't really relate because I'm not
As
that
often.
that away from away as often as him, but the understanding of the work, family balance. Like I tackled that. I talked about that, which I talk about here a lot, and they talked a lot about like fathers having like taking care of our mental health. And one of the questions they asked, which I don't know if I felt like I answered it wrong.
Mm.
Not there's no wrong answer, but selfishly I felt like I answered it. They asked like if you could give yourself one gift to yourself, what would it be? In terms of like when it comes to like mental health type of
Okay.
relation. And I was like some alone time. Just to have some real serious alone time. Not come to the office and be away from the family alone time. Like serious, like, what is the saltwater float thing? Like, somewhere where I could just like basically if I wanted to meditate, I could just turn off the
Everything.
brain and just let myself, float away mentally. And then, the Dante, I think, said something more like having to do with his family. I was like, oh fuck, I'm an asshole, man.
No, but I think that's right though. Like when you said it in the context of the way you just described, like the session that you were a part of, like your mental health. It's like we've said this many a time, but it's like if you're not good, you can't be good for anybody else in your household. So that is very valid. Like being able to take a day, a weekend, whatever it is, and just you by yourself, that shit does a lot.
Well, I mean, a day or a weekend is
I know,
it's a
I
long
know,
shot.
I know.
I'm talking about like give me an hour or two
Right.
of where I'm really could just shut off from work and I don't want to say family because I just like I said it sounds weird to me, but to be able to like rest the brain and be able then go back and be kind of refreshed mentally to tackle everything. And what was really dope about them and this organization is they heard me say that and then they gifted me one of those saltwater flotation things for 30 minutes.
Oh,
nice.
wow.
But I told my girl because I've been wanting to do that forever.
I don't even
Yeah.
know what you're talking about, so I need to get educated.
Those pods where you just
Go.
float in salt water and they close it in
Yeah.
your darkness.
No, is
Oh,
that
man.
is that
I
some
know what you're
Miami
talking
shit?
about. Go do it
They
on
say-
go do it on Father's Day.
I mean maybe, but it's in Miami Beach is the closest place.
Okay.
And that's where they gave it to me for. And I told my girl, it's dope, but I can't even make it over there, because of fatherhood. But man, you should
Damn
check it out, it's
fatherhood.
dope. It's a pod where because of the salt water, the density, you just float in it, and then they close the pod and you're in darkness. They say that you feel like you start floating, like your mind, like almost it's like psychedelic.
Wow.
Joe Rogan talks about it a lot. He does it often.
So it's a form of meditation. That's how they.
Absolutely,
Talk
yeah.
about
It's
it.
like forcing meditation in a way.
Damn,
So
that
yeah,
sounds dope.
it was really cool conversation to have with these guys, and Dante would be really good guest on fatherhood. I'm trying to see if I can get him on here.
He plays for the
Yeah,
Panthers.
so-
You said Carolina Panthers.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I'm not a sports guy, so
I don't know a
just
ton
he was
about
cool,
football.
Cool dude. So.
He was cool. That's dope.
Yeah.
So what are your Father's Day plans?
I barely remembered it was Father's
Yeah,
Day.
I didn't know until you said it. I was like, oh shit, that's this weekend.
You guys?
I don't know. Okay.
No plans. No. I mean, I'm sure we'll go do something or not do something.
on purpose.
That's probably gonna be my plan if it's if we're able to just chill somehow.
So, real quick, I have a question for you guys. Oh, I'm sorry, you answered, Manny. Your
No,
father's
I
your plan
ain't
before I
got.
get into
I
this.
got no plans.
Okay, so good. So check this out. So how I'm sick, right? And I was saying I can't. I'm not gonna be. I can't rest to get better from my sickness. How do you guys handle when you're sick? And if the doctor says rest, like how would you handle that?
Well, I've got a much different situation
I was just gonna say the
than
same.
you do. So I could actually carve out some rest time at this point in my life.
Well,
Well,
I'm talking
he's
about
got.
before, like maybe when you
So
had
okay, so
when he was
before,
younger.
yeah, it was probably not much rest, like especially when he was younger, and especially when my wife was traveling overseas a lot. I mean,
Hmm.
like I remember many times where she was gone overseas, and I would get sick. I had like uh, ear infect. I was getting ear infections from him from preschool and all
Right.
kind, and I'd basically just have to thug it out. I'd take a bunch of medicine, just try to get through the day and try to get through the evening until he fell asleep, and then I'd just soak up that sleep in the nighttime. But yeah, that we at that age when they're young and they need all the attention, and if there's other stuff going on, yeah, there wasn't a ton of rest.
Yeah, when my kids were young, the the tactic that I used. So when I just had one, and she was 4, I would be me being sick or not feeling well. I would still try to spend like an hour just having her go crazy, like at the park, or try to get all her energy out, so that the likelihood of her going to sleep earlier was higher. And then I would take that stretch once she fell asleep,
Did
go
you
to sleep.
text me that today?
No.
Somebody told me that, like, tire them out.
Yeah, it's not easy because you feel like shit. So
Was it
Yeah,
UK that said that today?
nah.
Somebody told me that today.
nah, so that's good. That means it's
Yeah,
validation. You got to try that.
But it's not true because our kids are on different schedules, so
Right.
there's always gonna be one
Yeah,
up and
you
going.
have a very. I mean, if they could play together, that would be your fucking golden opportunity because they would tire each other out. But the trick
Right.
I found when I didn't feel well, I would take my daughter to the park. At the time, she was like struggling to do the monkey bars, so I would just have her struggle doing the monkey bars, and that was because the frustration was tiring her out. And I'd be like, "Come on, mama, you can do it, you can," and I'd just be like, "Just keep going," and just making sure she didn't kill herself. But otherwise, like that worked for me.
I
But
gotta
yeah,
say I do still like. I would have more time to catch some rest now, but even when in the past when I've done that, I feel guilty doing it.
Right.
Like because like I feel like I'm not like
you're cheating them.
I'm just not holding up my end of the bargain
Oh,
with just putting in the parenting work.
You've never seen that commercial? I don't know what brand it is, but there's a commercial where there's a parent that's sick, and then they show like the kids, and then the I don't know what they're selling, but they're like, there's no time for you to be sick. And the guy's
oh
like,
Right.
oh, I
yeah,
feel like crap, and then the
Yeah.
kids, he's like, you got to keep it moving. I don't know if it was a cocaine commercial, but
some cold medicine, I think it was.
yeah, I think.
So damn. So
Yeah.
what are you doing now? Like, is just you just hoping this shit goes away, or are you trying to figure out how to rest?
For me,
Yeah.
well, yesterday and today are the first days that I started to feel pretty bad, and then I had drink champs, which is the equivalent of a flight, getting drunk on a flight, and then from
Ugh.
LA to Miami, and then waking up, dead. So that's where I'm at today. I don't feel as bad as I thought I would. I feel like crap, but I don't feel as bad as I thought I would, and it's probably because I didn't go in as much as I usually would.
Oh, okay.
Which I feel like I'm gonna hear shit from Drink Champs fans. I actually put beer in shot glasses and drank that as shots.
Oh, they all saw it. Like it wasn't
After
you
three
trying to
shots
hide.
of Colombian White, which I tried, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna pass out or die here, bro.
Oh
Mhm.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, no good.
but no, I don't know. There's not much to do. Just truck through it, and like Kay said, take the medicine. And the thing is that, I look at my girl and whether she's sick or not, like we both want to rest.
Yeah.
So if she ain't resting, I'm not resting. Let's just, keep it moving.com.
Stuff.
Yeah.
It's fatherhood, baby.
Take a little time now, man. If you
We're in
got
the
it.
office?
Now, when we're done with this,
I can't. My emails are like up the yin yang. I'm behind on
But you
everything
don't respond
in the
to
world.
email anyway, so you're fine. Just take a
I
break.
do. I just not your email.
Oh, that's it.
Right.
You send me novels of days of your life.
That's what it is.
You don't know how to make condensed things.
Not for
you.
you.
Like it? See? No.
I got to give you the ADD version.
Yo.
Jesus. All right, gang.
Man.
Well, it's been
Gents.
nice, but we got to go.
That's fly, dad gear.
.com. Pizza.